Okay, so, we're diving deep into this whole goal thing today, right?
Yeah, we're going to figure out how to make those goals really work for you, how to get things done.
And we're using all that stuff you gave us, right? The articles, your notes, everything.
Exactly. We're going to pull out the best stuff, the simplest stuff, the stuff that actually helps you make progress.
Right, like how can we set goals and actually like reach them without making it super complicated?
Yeah, that's the key, right? Keeping it simple so it actually works in real life.
Exactly. So, I guess the first thing is like you have to actually have a clear goal, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can't just say, I want to be better or I want to learn more.
Yeah.
You got to be specific.
Right. It's like saying, okay, instead of just saying, I'm going to exercise more,
Right.
you could say something like, I'm going to walk for 30 minutes 3 times this week.
That's it. You got it. Now you know exactly what you need to do.
Right.
And it's so much easier to actually do it when you know exactly what that it is.
Yeah. So there's this thing called SMART goals, right?
Oh, yeah. SMART goals. That's a classic.
So, like, how do we break that down so it's like actually useful for someone?
So think of it like this. Each letter is like a little checkpoint to make sure your goal is really solid.
Okay.
So the S stands for specific. And that means you got to be crystal clear about what you want.
Like, how specific are we talking here?
Like really specific. Who, what, where, when, why.
Oh, so like, who's involved in this goal? What exactly are you doing? Where is it going to happen?
Exactly. When are you going to do it and why is it important to you?
Okay. That makes sense.
Right. So you're not just saying, I want to learn Spanish. You're saying, I want to learn 10 new Spanish words every week before Friday using an app on my phone because I want to talk to my neighbor.
Wow. Okay. That is specific.
Right.
All right. So, what about the M?
M is for measurable, which means you need a way to track your progress.
Okay. So, like, how do you measure something like learning Spanish?
Well, in that example, you're measuring the number of new words you learn each week.
Right. So, it's like you can actually see yourself moving towards your goal.
Exactly. And that's super motivating. Seeing those little wins along the way keeps you going.
Okay. And then there's A.
A is for achievable. And this is where you got to be honest with yourself.
Right.
Can you actually do this with the time and energy you have?
Like, don't set yourself up to fail. Right.
Exactly. It's got to be something you can realistically achieve. Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment.
Okay. And then what about R?
R is for relevant, meaning, does this goal actually matter to you? Does it fit into your bigger picture?
Right. Like, if you hate cooking, don't set a goal to become a chef. Right.
Exactly. It's got to be something you actually care about, something that aligns with your values and dreams.
Okay. That makes sense. And finally, T.
T is for time bound. You need a deadline.
Okay. So instead of I'm going to learn guitar someday, it's more like,
By the end of June, I will be able to play 3 basic chords on the guitar.
there you go, specific deadline.
A time frame keeps you focused and helps you break down the goal into smaller steps.
Right. So we have one of your examples here. It says, I will write 500 words every day for 3 months to get better at writing.
Right. And you can see how that hits all the smart points, right?
Yeah, it's specific, it's measurable.
Yeah.
You can definitely count the words. It's achievable.
And it's relevant to your goal of becoming a better writer. And it has a clear deadline of 3 months.
Exactly.
So that's a smart goal in action.
Now, what if your goal is like huge, like learning a whole new language?
Then you got to break it down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Right. Like you wouldn't try to run a marathon without training first, right?
Exactly. You start with shorter runs, then gradually increase the distance.
So it's the same with big goals. You break them down into smaller milestones.
And each time you hit a milestone, you celebrate that small win, which keeps you motivated to keep going.
Okay, that makes sense. And it's not just about like those huge life goals, right?
No, it's about those small everyday actions too.
So what kind of small daily things can help us reach our bigger goals?
Well, think about things like exercising for 15 minutes a day, or spending 30 minutes reading something new, or even just taking 10 minutes to plan your day.
Right. So it's like those small, consistent actions that really add up over time.
Exactly. Consistency is key. Those small habits build up to big results.
Now, what happens if things don't go exactly as planned?
Well, that's where flexibility comes
All
in.
right, because life happens, things change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you got to be willing to adjust your plans as needed. Maybe try a different approach.
And it's also important to like check in with yourself, right? And see if you're actually making progress.
Oh, absolutely. Regular check-ins are crucial. They help you see what's working, what's not, and make adjustments accordingly.
And don't forget about like your support system, right?
Oh, yeah. Having people who believe in you and support your goals is so important.
Like friends, family, mentors, whoever.
They can provide encouragement, accountability, and even new perspectives.
Right. They can help you stay motivated when things get tough.
And speaking of things getting tough, remember, it's okay to face challenges along the way.
Right? Everyone stumbles.
It's not about being perfect. It's about learning from your mistakes and bouncing back stronger.
And when you do make progress, no matter how small,
Celebrate it.
right?
Every win deserves to be acknowledged. It reinforces those good habits and keeps you motivated.
And while you're celebrating, take a moment to think about what you learn along the way.
Exactly. Those lessons learned will help you improve and grow even more.
So I guess the takeaway here is to have those clear goals, right? Use the SMART method to make them super solid.
Break down those big goals into smaller steps. Be consistent with those daily actions.
Check in with yourself regularly. Be flexible. Have a good support system. Be kind to yourself when things get tough and celebrate every win.
There you have it, a simple roadmap to turn your goals into reality.
So think about this. What's one tiny goal you can set for yourself right now?
What's one small step you can take today that will move you closer to where you want to be?
Remember, even the smallest actions can lead to big achievements.
So start small and watch yourself grow.
You got this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right.